Guys, you are now watching a clip from the Fellas podcast. You can listen to the full podcast exclusively on Spotify for free. So make sure to head over there, leave us a 5-star rating if you enjoyed, and follow the podcast. So Las Vegas, you're like, fuck it, I'm going out afterwards. Mm-hmm. Who are you texting first?
So I'm quite good friends with Logan Sargent on the grid. We've been teammates before. We're same age. Obviously both rookies this year. So I've known him for a while. Raced against Guan Yu Zhou as well. And we were like in the same academy together at Alpine. I mean, Lando too.
Yeah.
If you have to, yeah. Just teammate responsibilities.
Team bonding.
Oh, I'll drop my text. Why not?
And then everyone else, like, it's actually quite difficult because all the drivers are so busy on the weekends that we see each other for like the drivers briefing and the drivers parade, and that's it. So we see each other for like less than an hour every weekend. So it's kind of tricky to get to know people.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting to know more and more people on the grid, but not well enough to start doing shots.
I would have thought, like, by this point in the season, how many races have been? Like eight? Oh, I'm not tripping. 8 races now. I would have thought, like, you'd have and have met everyone and fully had a good sit down and chat with them, but
yeah, we just never really have the time.
Yeah.
So
everyone's busy doing their own thing, I suppose. And is there a race that you least look forward to, or a circuit that you're just saying, like, I don't think I've ever smoked it around this track?
I mean, Miami, from what I hear, was a big improvement from last year in terms of the track. There's some areas of that track that are certainly not my favorite.
Yeah, that Miami one, I had a friend to that one, and that was, well, I feel like all the US ones are, but they say it's like more of a spectacle around the race rather than the actual race itself, which I don't think is necessarily a bad thing. Yeah. It's just how Americans do things. They're genuinely, like, they just take everything to the next level.
Yeah. But I think as an event, it was really, really cool. I remember when I went there last year for the first race, it was crazy. Like, I think I got onto the grid and like was just standing around as a reserve driver, and to get from like any further up the grid than like 8th, you couldn't. Like, you pretty much needed someone huge in front of you to just barge people out of the way.
Really?
There was so many people on the grid. So
is that something that you like, or are you just there like?
Well, now that I'm a driver, it's annoying because normally like you're trying to talk to the engineer or honestly duck off and go to the toilet, and you've got to like run in between people, and like it's a little bit annoying at times. But having those people on the grid is very good for the sport, and also you run into some cool people as well. Like, I think I've met
who's the coolest person you met out there?
So this year Miami met Vin Diesel and had like a.
That's family right there, man. That's family.
Cool.
I'd be so gassed if I met Vin Diesel, to be fair.
I know, so that was cool. Who else did I meet? I've met David Beckham at one of the races.
Ooh, okay.
Not in Miami, but previously, and just some other cool people. But Vin Diesel was probably at the top of the list so far.
Fast and Furious.
It's his favorite film series, man. He loves it.
Maybe that's the new one?
No, I can't.
I haven't.
No, but it's coming up.
I can't watch it. I can't watch it, man. I'm sorry. I'm also The Rock's #1 hater as well. So like, I can't watch movies with The Rock.
You know the thing about the American GPs as well? Like, there was one from years ago where they did this like massive entrance for every driver.
The thing I do rate is that they're trying new stuff though, because I think if you just do the same thing over and over, it does get a little bit stale. So
trying to keep it fresh.
I do rate that. Have you had a race that you've enjoyed the most? I know you mentioned, like, obviously you like doing the Melbourne one, but a performance that you're there like,
I smoked it.
I did. Yeah, I was impressed.
You were running quite high in the last race, though. At one point, I feel like you were.
Canada was going well.
I was 6th.
I think I was 6th.
It was going
well.
And then we
were rooting for you because we were like, look, if this goes wrong, he might not come on the podcast. Despite I need Oscar up there. Like, we were watching it over there on that stream.
Yeah, it was doing well. It was actually quite an exciting race, I thought. But yeah, the first stint went quite well. Made a few overtakes, and I was in like 6th. At that point, I still had the 2 Ferraris and a Red Bull behind me, so I knew I wasn't going to be finishing in 6th because they're still a lot quicker than us at the moment. But then, our tyre wear wasn't great. Like some other people, like Albon, for example, in the Williams, had a massive train behind him. Still finished 7th.
He was quality. That I like very good.
So we don't think we could have done his strategy of just one pit stop. So we kind of had to do two, and it kind of ruined our options a little bit. I also made a few mistakes, and like a few people overtook me, so it wasn't best second half of the race, but I'm still learning.
Still learning. It's your first season, man.
So, yeah.
I did want to ask some. Obviously, you're at McLaren now.
Yes.
Which is massive, huge team.
Yeah.
You know, your first day when contracts are done, you're signed, heading to the headquarters. Like, what was that like?
It was very special. Like McLaren's factory, compared to I'd say most, like I've been lucky enough.
Yeah,
to
it looks
to a few F1
amazing.
Factories, it's like next level.
Yeah,
like,
well, I've seen like I've seen the headquarters bit
thing,
where
right?
the McLaren headquarters was used in a Star Wars scene.
Yeah,
I've seen that, and
Really?
because like the lobby or whatever you would call it, I don't know if that's a lobby, but it's something massive, and it just looks like a space terminal. So they converted it. Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, so like even now, because I think it was built like 2005, 2006. So even now, like
just
18
still
years later, it still looks
Unbelievable.
like brand new. And I think I said to Lando when I first went there, I said, I can't imagine what it would have been like walking in this place in 2005. Like it's just,
Yeah,
It must have felt like you're going in a literal spaceship.
Yes. So no, it was really, really cool. And like it'd been a tricky few months before that. So I really enjoyed my first day there, and everyone was very, very welcoming. But you walk down the lobby, as you call it. We call it the boulevard. It's got all of the old McLaren F1 cars. So from like Bruce's first car to like James Hunt's cars, Fittipaldi's cars, and then like Senna, Prost, all the way up to like when Hamilton won with McLaren and stuff like that. So you just have all the years of history right there as you walk through the building. So it's
like Liverpool.
pretty special. And that never gets old. Like even I was in the factory yesterday and it was still just as cool as the first
That
day.
must be a surreal feeling. So obviously, have we got someone from McLaren here? Have you guys given him a McLaren? Have you got a McLaren? Did they let you drive one?
Yeah.
Yeah, are we?
Nah,
are we
look,
at that stage
look,
career yet?
he's looking at you saying, like, where's the whip?
We'll get.
Question for that. Oh, Zach, come on, man.
I'll put the word in, buddy. I'll send an email.
Well, I don't daily drive one.
Yeah. You have driven one.
I have driven one, and for events and stuff like that. And if I want to drive one, like if I'm having a weekend off or something, then I can
get one.
So
You just text Zach and say, "Hey, buddy, like,
drop this off on your way home, bud."
What's going on there?" Because so, do you daily drive though? Have you got a car that you drive?
Yes.
And I imagine we can't talk about.
Wait, did you drive here yourself, or do you?
No, I did not.
Someone.
I was in the back of a car sleeping on my way here.
Oh, really? Yeah.
That was late.
Do you get a tube ever? Like, do you like jump on a train just casually? Like,
occasionally, yeah.
just like, I just want to know. I'm
starting to think that would have been a better option for sporting than driving.
To be fair, yeah. Honestly, get around London. Now, let me tell you the best way to get around London: line bike.
I'm gonna be honest. If I'm just chilling in London and I just see Oscar Piastri ride past me on the line, but I'm gonna have to be like, "Hey, simulation's broken today, buddy."